9.14, word problems with similar triangles is level 2. Same thing we just did, but now you have to draw a triangle. It says Daniel is 1.45 meters tall. At noon, he measures the length of a tree's shadow to be 17.65 meters. He stands 12.5 meters away from the tree so that the tip of his shadow meets the tip of the tree's shadow. Find the height of the tree to the nearest hundredth of a meter. This is just like the one we did on the last lesson, the very first one. So we've got Daniel, who is 1.45 meters tall. He measures the length of a tree's shadow. So there's a tree that's taller than him. And the tree shadow, so from him, or from the tree out, is 17.65. He stands, so hem to the tree is 12.5 meters away, so that the tip of his shadow, shadows are cast down, right, diagonal, like a hypotenuse, meets the tip of the tree's shadow. So they both meet here. Find the height of the tree to the nearest hundredth of a meter. Okay, and so we've got this is comparable to this. 1.45 is to x, as I'm going to need this by taking 17.65 minus 12.5. You get 5.15. Is to the whole thing. 17.65 cross multiply. And I got this. It says nearest hundredth, so that would be 4.97 meters. Number 2. For a project in her geometry class, Nayeli uses a mirror on the ground to measure the height of her school's flagpole. Interesting. She walks a distance of 13.45 meters from the flagpole, then places a mirror flat on the ground marked with an X at the center. She then walks 1.95 more meters past the mirror, so that when she turns around and looks down at the mirror, she can see the top of the flagpole clearly marked in the X. Her partner measures the distance from her eyes to the ground to be 1.75 meters. How tall is the flagpole? Okay, so let's draw our flagpole. She's walking a distance of 13.45 meters away from it. And then she's putting the mirror here. Then she walks, so she's walking further away, 1.95 meters more past the mirror. And then so that when she stands and she looks down at the mirror, she's seeing the top of the flagpole clearly marked in the X. Her partner measures the distance from her eyes to the ground. So from her eyes to the ground, that's a vertical height to be 1.75 meters. How tall is the flagpole? So these are similar triangles. We can compare 1.95 to 13.45 is 1.75 to x. Cross multiply and divide, and you should get 12.07 meters. Interesting way to do it. And number 3, a guy wire runs from the top of a cell tower to a metal stake in the ground. Arturo places an 8-foot tall pole to support the wire. After placing the pole, he measures the distance from the stake to the pole to be 2 feet. He then measures the distance from the pole to the tower to be 21 feet. Find the length of the guy wire to the nearest foot. So we have guy wire. We've got, well, that's tower, sorry. Tower wire going down to a stake in the ground. And so here's one of our triangles. Places an 8-foot tall pole to support it. After placing that pole, he measures the distance from, this is the stake, to the pole to be 2 feet. And then he measures the distance from the pole to the tower to be 21 feet. Find the length of the guide wire. Okay, so this is another problem where since these are right angles, and I'm going to have to compare a side to a hypotenuse. A side to the hypotenuse. I'm going to have to do Pythagorean theorem. So my legs would be the 2 and the 8. So 2 squared plus 8 squared equals y squared is what I'll call it. 2 squareds, 4 plus 8 squared is 64, so that'd be 68. I'm square rooting 68 because I have to square root whatever this is. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Okay, now my proportion will be 2 compared to 8 equals square root of 68 compared to x. And I want to cross multiply divide. And it says nearest foot, so that'll round up to 33 feet. So at any point in time, if you want to do like this compared to this, that's fine. But if you only found from here to here, you're then going to have to add it to the square root of 68 to get the whole length of the wire. But that's an option if you want to compare this to this as this is to this. Just takes another step.